There are mornings when the weight of the world seems to have slept right alongside you. You wake up, and before you even open your eyes, you already feel it. The exhaustion, the worry, that sense that life demands too much and offers too little. But what if today were different? What if, before anything else, before the phone, before the news, before the obligations, you stopped just for a moment and listened to what God has to say to you right now? Psalm 23 was not written to be read in a hurry. It was written to be lived. He makes me lie down in green pastures. That is not a suggestion. It is a promise. And today, this morning, Our Lady walks beside you as that promise is fulfilled in you. This is not just a moment of prayer. It is an invitation to rest, the kind of rest that does not depend on silence around you, but on peace within you. You have come this far carrying more than you should. It is not weakness to admit that. It is honesty. And God does not want your performance. He wants your presence. Think for a moment about everything resting on your shoulders right now. The bills that still did not work out, the relationship that still has not healed, the health concern that still lingers, the child you pray for every single day without seeing an answer, the situation you have already surrendered to God so many times, and yet it keeps coming back every morning like a tide that refuses to pull away. You are not alone in this. And more than that, you were never meant to carry this alone. There is a beautiful scene hidden inside Psalm 23 that most people rush past too quickly. The Lord is my shepherd. Just that, 4 words. But inside those 4 words lives an entire universe of care. A shepherd does not abandon the sheep when it wanders. He goes after it. He carries it in his arms when it no longer has the strength to walk. He knows each one by name, and he knows you by name. Today, this morning, before anything else, God sent you a message, not a demand, not a rebuke, a word of care that perhaps you have not heard in a very long time. Rest, not tomorrow, not after everything is resolved. Now, because the rest God offers is not the rest of someone who has finished all their tasks. It is the rest of someone who has learned to trust the one who provides. It is different. It runs deeper. It is the kind of peace the world cannot give and cannot take away either. Our Lady knew this rest, not because her life was easy, quite the opposite. She received news that no young woman would ever expect to receive. She lived through the pain of watching her son be misunderstood, pursued, condemned, and still, at every step, she treasured all these things in her heart. She did not understand everything, but she trusted the one who understood all things. That is what she invites you to do right now. You do not need to understand everything in order to trust. You do not need all the answers in order to find peace. You only need to stop for a moment and allow the shepherd to tend to the flock while you breathe. Close your eyes for a moment if you can. Feel the weight on your shoulders. Now, intentionally, one by one, let each burden fall. The worry about the future, let it fall. The resentment from the past, let it fall. The fear of what has not yet happened, let it fall. Not because those problems have ceased to exist, but because today you choose not to carry them alone. He makes me lie down in green pastures. Green pastures are not perfect places. They are places where there is life, where there is nourishment, where there is shade in the middle of the heat. And God places you in those places, not when you deserve it, but when you need it. Do you need it now? Then it is here. It is today. It is this morning. Breathe deeply and receive. There is a particular kind of tired that sleep cannot fix. You know exactly what that feels like. You lie down, you close your eyes, the hours pass, and you wake up just as heavy as when you went to bed, because the exhaustion was never just in your body, it was in your soul, in the part of you that has been fighting for so long, hoping for so long, waiting for so long, that it simply forgot what it felt like to be still. That is precisely where Psalm 23 meets you this morning. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. Notice what the psalmist does not say. He does not say God leads us beside rushing rivers, loud, turbulent, unpredictable. He says still waters, quiet waters, waters that do not demand anything from you, waters that simply exist, calm and steady, and invite you to be the same. There is something deeply intentional about that image. God does not restore you in the middle of chaos. He draws you away from it. He takes you by the hand, gently, not forcefully, and leads you to a place where the noise fades and something older and quieter begins to speak. Not the voice of your fears, not the voice of your obligations, the voice that spoke light into darkness on the very first morning. That voice, and in that place beside those still waters, something happens that no medicine and no distraction can replicate. Your soul is restored, not repaired. Restored. There is a difference. Repair fixes what is broken. Restoration brings back what was lost. And somewhere along the way, in the middle of all the rushing and striving and surviving, you may have lost something essential. Your sense of being loved without condition, your ability to receive without earning, your permission to simply be without performing. God wants to give that back to you today. Our Lady understood the stillness that restores on the morning of the resurrection. Before the news spread, before the world erupted in joy, there was a silence, and in that silence, hope held its breath. She had walked through the darkest night any mother could face, and she waited, not passively, but with the profound, active trust of someone who had learned, over a lifetime of surrendering, that God's silence is never abandonment. He is never late. He is never absent. He is always, always working, even when you cannot see it. This morning, if your prayers feel like they are hitting the ceiling, if your faith feels thin and threadbare, if you are not even sure what to ask for anymore, that is okay. You do not need a perfect prayer. You do not need the right words. You only need to come. Come as you are. Come exhausted. Come confused. Come with empty hands and a heavy heart. Because the still waters are not reserved for those who have it all together. They are for the weary. They are for the ones who have been walking a long time through dry and difficult terrain. They are for you, exactly as you are, exactly where you are, on this exact morning. Let yourself be led there now. Imagine for a moment that you are sitting beside a body of water so calm it looks like glass. There is no wind. There is no noise. The light is soft, the kind of early morning light that makes everything look a little more hopeful than it did the night before. And beside you, you are not alone. There is a presence, warm, steady, ancient, not demanding your attention, simply being there. That is what God's rest feels like. That is what His restoration looks like. Not fireworks, not dramatic revelations, just presence, just peace, just the quiet, unshakable certainty that you are held, even now, especially now, in hands that have never once let you go. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for His name's sake. And when the restoration comes, and it will come, you will find that your steps become steadier, not because the road got easier, but because you are no longer walking it alone, no longer walking it depleted, no longer walking it as someone who has forgotten who walks beside them. You are a child of God. You are covered by grace. You are led by love. And today, this morning, that is more than enough. There is a verse in Psalm 23 that most people know by heart, and yet, when life actually places them inside it, it still catches them off guard. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Not if I walk through the valley, even though. That single phrase changes everything, because it means God never promised you a life without valleys. He never said the path would always be smooth, the sky always clear, the road always familiar. What He promised, what He has always promised, is that you would never walk through any of it alone, and that promise has never been broken. Not once, not ever. Think about the valleys you have already crossed, the seasons that felt like they would never end, the nights that stretched so long you began to wonder if morning had forgotten you, the moments when you knelt down to pray and the only thing that came out was silence or tears or both. You survived every single one of those valleys, not because you were strong enough, but because you were carried. You may not have felt it at the time. Faith rarely feels like what it actually is in the middle of the storm. In the middle of the valley, it feels like stumbling. It feels like holding on by a thread. It feels like whispering a prayer you are not even sure anyone is hearing. But someone always was. Our Lady stood at the foot of the cross. If there was ever a valley of shadows, it was there, watching the one she loved most suffer beyond words. And yet, even there, she did not run. She did not collapse into despair. She stood, broken, yes, devastated, yes, but present, because faith, real faith, is not the absence of pain. It is the decision to remain in the presence of God, even when everything inside you wants to flee. She teaches us that standing is enough, showing up is enough, remaining is enough. You do not have to have it all figured out. You do not have to be strong today. You do not have to pretend that everything is fine when it is not. God is not looking for your composure. He is looking for your heart, and a heart that is broken open is often more capable of receiving grace than one that has never been cracked at all. So if you are in a valley right now, if this morning finds you in a place that feels dark, uncertain, or overwhelming, hear this clearly. You are not being punished. You are not forgotten. You are not too far gone for grace to find you. The valley is not your destination. It is a passage, and the shepherd who leads you into it is the same shepherd who leads you out. He knows every shadow by name. He knows every stone on the path. He has walked this road before you, and he walks it now beside you. And his staff, the thing that guides and steadies and rescues, is already extended toward you. Reach for it, not with perfection, not with eloquence, just reach. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Comfort, not rescue from the valley. Comfort within it. There is a profound difference, because sometimes God does not remove the difficult season immediately. Sometimes he sits with you inside it, close enough that you can feel the warmth of his presence, even when the air around you is cold. And that closeness, that inexplicable, undeserved, overwhelming closeness, is itself the miracle. This morning, wherever you are, whatever valley surrounds you, he is there, in the quiet of this moment, before the day rushes in and pulls you back into its current. Speak to him. Not a rehearsed prayer, not the right words in the right order. Just speak. Tell him what you are afraid of. Tell him what you are tired of. Tell him what you are hoping for, even if hope feels fragile and small right now. He can handle your honesty. He can handle your doubt. He can handle your exhaustion. What he cannot do, what he will never do, is leave. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. All the days, not just the bright ones, not just the days when you feel worthy or faithful or strong. All of them, the messy ones, the confusing ones, the ones where you fall and have to get back up and fall again. Goodness and mercy, trailing behind you like a promise that refuses to give up on you. That is who God is. That is what this morning carries. That is what Our Lady intercedes for every single day on your behalf, that you would know deep in the marrow of your bones that you are loved with a love that has no end and no condition and no expiration. Rest in that today. Walk in that today. Carry it with you into whatever this day holds, because you are not walking into it alone. You never were. You never will be. The sun that rose this morning rose for you, not for the version of you that has everything together, not for the version that never doubts, never wavers, never feels the weight of it all. For you, the real one, the one who showed up here in this moment, perhaps a little tired, perhaps a little uncertain, but here, present, open, that already took courage, more than you know. Psalm 23 is not a poem about a perfect life. It is a declaration about a perfect shepherd leading an imperfect journey, and every word of it, every green pasture, every still water, every dark valley, every table prepared in the presence of enemies, every single word is spoken over your life today. You are provided for, you are restored, you are guided, you are comforted, you are followed by goodness and mercy, and at the end of all things, at the end of every long and winding road, you will dwell in the house of the Lord, not because you earned it, because he promised it. So go into this day differently than you have been going. Go as someone who has rested. Go as someone who has been seen. Go as someone who carries a peace that does not depend on circumstances, because it comes from somewhere circumstances cannot reach. Our Lady goes with you. She who said yes when everything was uncertain, she who stood when everything was falling, she who trusted when nothing made sense. She walks beside you today, interceding with every step you take. And God, your shepherd, your father, your constant and faithful companion, he goes before you, preparing the way, smoothing what can be smoothed, strengthening you for what cannot. You are not alone. You were never alone. And from this morning forward, may you never forget it. Good morning. You are loved. Now go and rest in that truth. Strengthen your prayers, because many good things are about to come your way. Leave in the comments which city you are praying from, and your name and your family's name, so we can pray together. And subscribe to the channel so we can build a great prayer chain